Troopers and grinders, welcome to Hank's Think Tank, where you get to hear all my oddball schemes and takes regarding often the cringiest or most unseemly in MMA news. Very unpredictable, wacky, and honestly brain cell destroying news in the UFC. And Hank the Tank's here to cover it for you guys. I'm gonna fucking go to war with all these fucking people making news claims and doing shit I've been bickering on Twitter for you guys. I'm gonna fucking destroy my brain piece by piece and act like I'm fucking watching a reality TV show like Kim the Kardashians and The Bachelor for you guys. Fight Night Frankie, how's it going? Well in, lad. What's good, lad? Hank the Tank. Dude, thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you for the video clip for my video, my man. What is going on with you, my man? Thank you for being here, Frankie. I got all the scoops and all the nice details for you guys here. I've been compiling it over the last couple days. So here you go. Here's my first big scoop I got for you. Probably heard this before, but Mokaev, after being not given an extension to his contract at flyweight by the UFC, has had a very strange few days as of late. No good, pretty good, very weird week for Muhammad Mokaev. Could make a children's book out of that. Hey, hello, Fight Night Frankie. I'm glad we got some camaraderie here. But yeah, he's had a very productive, constructive last couple of days. Getting into a car accident with his buddy in Dagestan. Don't trust a Brit, Kurt. Don't trust a Brit, as Sean Strickland would put it. Don't trust that Brit, Muhammad Mokaev. You don't know what his alliances are. All right. Thank you very much, Frankie. Yeah. So just listen to Sean Strickland regarding Muhammad Mokaev, as well as Jake Hadley. And then a few days later, being re-signed to the promotion in Bahrain, Brave FC, where he got his start in MMA. Brave FC's president, Mohammed Shahid, yet another Mohammed in the picture, not named Ali, not based at all, said that there was unjust persecution of Muhammad's character in the UFC, along with defamation for their own personal vendettas. Muhammad Mokaev knows all about lying for personal vendettas. When he pretended to make peace with Manel Kape and asked for a selfie between them for Muslim solidarity, only to blindside him for his own personal satisfaction. Little man syndrome weasel is what I put. Chilling in the hit wave, man, and waiting for work tomorrow, you hear me? Smash or pass Olga Okoye. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that his fucking girlfriend? Oh, God, I'm scared of what I'm going to see, dude. Angelic. Nikaru. Ogor. Wait a minute. Olga. Oh, Gio. What the fuck is this? Oh. Man. Oh, Gio, Angelic Queen. That's not the person you're talking about. Kenny Okoye. Wife? Hold on, you got to give me updates here. You got to send me a fucking image, dude. Olga is his mom. Okay. Olga. That's what I thought. Mom. I don't know. I'd be in the middle. Maybe I'd go on a fucking date with her. Is she fucking wrinkly as hell? Is her skin dry? Tulsi Gabbard is great. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go again. That's That's the woman who served in Afghanistan. Yeah, I mean, she's fine in terms of how she looks, but she does sort of have that Pepe Le Pew white stripe in her hair. So I don't know. I'd pass on that. Also, she's a fucking lunatic. And Tulsi Gabbard turned down RFK Jr.'s offer to be his running mate, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, where have we gone? I know that Fight Night Frankie is hating this because he doesn't want anything to do with fucking politics. Yeah, his running mate. Yeah. I don't know, that white stripe in her hair fucking, it disturbs me, so no. Okay, check Discord. Okay, god damn it. He's going to send me another fucking cursed image. Here we go. Brand new scoop from No Chill MMA regarding what Kenny Okoye's mother looks like. Oh. Not bad, man. Not bad. I think No Chill's tied in terms of who he would smash or pass. He's 50%. 1-1. So one of them I'm not interested in, and then the other, he had a home run on that one. But then again, she is fucking crazy because she birthed an absolutely delusional son. So got to be careful with the crazy women. No Chill, my one and only one I wanted to interview said nah. Well, you fucking talked to him before, dude. It's not like you haven't interviewed him a few times. Anyway, back to my very important rat weasel fake Muslim Muhammad Mokaev story. I hope it gets some people in the chat with that one. Yeah, he tried to take a selfie with Manel Cap for Muslim solidarity and then fucking beat him up from behind because they were beefing. Didn't even do it to his face. If Jake Hadley and multiple members of the UFC staff don't like you and the absolute circus they're already a part of and running, you must be really poisonous for their company to cut you. Anyway, Mokaev's salary numbers for Brave FC haven't been disclosed yet, but I'm thinking it's relatively higher than what Mokaev was making his first time in Brave due to his increased notoriety along, for good or for worse, along with his previous good relationship with the promotion's owner. So probably in the 30 to 50K range. Do you agree with that, Fight Night Frankie? You think he's making like 30,000 to 40,000, 50,000, somewhere in there? Either way, he's out of our hair, and no one will give a shit anymore about him after this, not even Isha. So praise Allah, my brother. Ooh, Sean, my one and only one I wanted to interview. Oh, okay. Kenny Robertson. Ooh, I'm going to look up Kenny Robertson. Let me get the inside deets on this man. Robertson. Oh. Professional mixed martial art and Bellator, not and UFC. Let me actually look at that. It's so funny. It's showing Kenny Robertson, but it's showing a profile picture of Chris Curtis. It's like they're fucking inseparable from each other from like one fight or something. 4-5 in the UFC. Yikes. Yeah, lost by decision to Chris Curtis. I guess Curtis fucking daddies him because he stole his fucking profile picture and then lost to Ben Saunders, who I referenced at one point. He's pretty shit. Yikes, dude. Well, I mean, honestly, the Leprechaun could have gotten an interview with him because he looks like a fucking scrub. He said 3 times his UFC contract. Yeah, that's a good one, man. Bro, he's making 120K at least. You do know that other promotions pay better than UFC, right? That is true. That is true. Might be a bunch. But then again, his organization could get a good deal because he's worked for them before and he basically doesn't have a lot of options. So, but the leader is fucking sucking his ding dong. So maybe they offered him a nice contract. Pass at No Chill MMA. I don't even think my glorious Chad jeans could recover that. Yikes. He's from my area, Berber. Oh, man. What a fucking wussy. You would make a beautiful light-skinned brother for Kenny. Yes, sir. He'd also make a great inclusion in the Michael Chandler family. Yeah, and lost to a guy in Canada. Yeah, he's lost to everybody, it seems. Lo. He wasn't a scrub. He banged. Well, maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Just ask his fucking school teacher. He's a wood shop teacher. Oh, there you go. That's his fucking in, man. He likes to teach about wood. Sex education teacher. Or either that or he's that teacher from Ned's Declassified School Guide. The man has a fucking fake hand and then gets it fucking chopped up every single episode. KSW have this dude on a 7-figure a fight deal. Wow. Okay, so he might be making the fucking moolah. 900K before sponsorships. What was this guy's name? Is he the legend Phil DeFries? This guy's a fucking pro, man. He wrestled at EIU like Matt Hughes. Let me look up the name of EIU. Ew! Eastern Illinois University. Well, obviously, Sean would know about that because whoever's from Illinois is his fucking hero. So he knows the deets on anybody from Illinois. The UFC are bandits. I agree, Fight Night Frankie. There are, and I talked to, I chatted with MMA Guru, and I also chatted with Isha about this at one point, and No Chill as well. That guys who are world champions who are making the fucking moolah, or not making the moolah, but who are the world champions, they should be paid more. They're getting paid like what, 100K, 200K to show per fight, and they're the fucking champions. They should be treated like fucking millionaires and the best in the world. But for some guys, they just don't like Tyron Woodley or fucking Demetrius Johnson. They get paid fucking peanuts. So no wonder these guys fucking bail. Saladin Parnasse. Oh yeah, he's a pretty big name in the KSW, and that's why they didn't want him going to the UFC because there are certain guys that attract a very big crowd, and they're not under Fight Pass, so they don't have a good deal with the UFC. I can understand the companies outside the UFC's fucking octopus tentacles not wanting any of their mainstream fighters to leave. And honestly, with KSW and all the fucking Polish roid cheats who have that would be Polish roid cheats in any other promotion. They wouldn't want those guys leaving anyway. And the UFC wouldn't even fucking want them because once they get to the UFC, all those muscles start to fucking shrivel. And then they don't have the power that they did before unless your name's Jan Blachowicz. So, it's I don't think it's good for either party to be accepting KSW fighters. Might have been a waste of money. Fuck crazy steroid warriors. So there you go. Sean Moody encapsulated that. Let's see what No Chill had to say. This man's a fucking firecracker right now. A little UFC UFC champs in the early 2000s and 2010s were guaranteed $1 million a fight. Yeah, I know, it's fucking ridiculous. And then they got rid of the Reebok deal, got rid of any opportunities for the fighters to get sponsorships and market themselves or make any money outside of their victories and fights. And that just resulted in a lot more fighters not being able to make any money from their sponsorships and from other means. So basically a bunch of a big roster, but very little pay. So just like any other evil corporation we got today. But and yet still the same guys who are going to out the UFC for corruption are going to vote for the guys who have lobbyists. Frank Mir never made $1 million. That is a fucking crime. Yeah, he was a world champion. Now Topuria is on 600K. I'll show you proof, Sean. So he's making 600K, but he's still not a millionaire at this point. He hasn't even defended his belt yet, but he's going to pretend like he's fucking Conor McGregor, like a wannabe. Anyway, guys, on to my next story. Alex Pereira recently alleged in one of his big press videos he does occasionally that Izzy Adesanya come to Teddy might have had a leg injury going into or during his fight with Dricus du Plessis, as he threw very little inside low kicks, which have apparently been the dog bender's specialty. Notable Nigerian glazer and #1 Izzy stan, Kenny Okoye, took to Twitter soon after and retweeted Alex's theory, going, "Low-key, this makes no sense. Why Izzy didn't throw more leg kicks? He was injured low-key. That's why Dricus won, bro. Dude, Izzy was still styling on him, even on one leg, bro, for real." So obviously, this guy is emotionally backing his boy, and because he's got a fucking Nigerian flag on his profile pic. So I wonder whose corner he might be in terms of being a big fan. And then as soon as he heard what Alex Pereira had to say, even if it's true, and I think it might actually be true, he still immediately just fucking took to Twitter, reposted it, and then made a whole video. It's like, see, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Izzy Adesanya hurt himself. It's confirmed. The Dricus win was fake because he was injured going into it. Israel Adesanya retweeted his cope session, saying that this guy knows me. Spent hours studying my moves. He knows I was injured in their trust. So if you haven't recognized this already, what we have here is another Drake academics relationship, except this time in MMA, where the smaller of the two will do anything in their power to defend the other due to their masochistic infatuation with them. And the bigger of the two will hop right onto their stand's defense to make them feel better for their mistakes. Did Izzy have an injury? Maybe he did. I think he did. Is Alex Pereira a genuine guy? Also, yes. So I'm going to believe Alex Pereira if he's well, I'm not going to 100% believe him, but I'm going to go with the benefit of the doubt and say that he's not lying. Also, yes, but that doesn't mean Izzy and Kenny aren't trying to cut their losses here and find a way to explain Adesanya's loss to Dricus du Plessis fair and square, which they really don't need to, given that both Izzy and Dricus looked good in there, and the better man just won, plain and simple. I got a second part to my story, but here we go. Frank Mir made a video saying he didn't make 7 figures in the Lesnar fight. That's fucking crazy, dude. Wasn't that at UFC 100 too? I think so. That was at UFC 100, and they didn't give him a big payday for a fucking centennial main event. It's just fucking bullshit. WTF, Mir made 45K in the main event of UFC 100, but John Fitch won 90K. Yeah. Even that fucking guy Finch from the Harry Potter franchise made more money than Fitch. Fitch made more than Mir. Told you, silly pants. There's a reason Mir fought so long and coaches so many people. He didn't make the same money as other champs of that era, and he had that drug addiction for some years. Probably didn't help. So you're saying because he pulled a fucking what's his face, the guy who was an alcoholic on Tough. What is his name? Oh God, now I'm just seeing a bunch of old videos from over the years. Oh yeah, Edwin Cooper Jr. He pulled an Edwin Cooper Jr. And so the UFC is not paying him as much because of that. That's sort of fucked up, to be honest. I mean, it makes sense why he'd take drugs when he's in a horrific motorcycle accident that basically refigures his entire fucking leg, and he's trying to cope with that. And I don't think that was fucking EPO either. I don't believe he made only $4K for main eventing UFC 100 when Yoshihiro Akiyama made $60K according to NSAC. Well, that's how the world works sometimes, Sean. I mean, no chill, it can be very unfair. And atrocities can happen, man. Izzy's washed, doesn't count, still flatlined Alex. Doesn't count, still flatlined Alex. Wait. So you're saying he's washed, but you're saying that are you trying to paraphrase what this guy Kenny's saying? If he's washed and he flatlined Alex, you're like saying he's great, but he's not. Did you know that Wang Xiong has a win in kickboxing over Valentina? I did. And actually, that's why I predicted her to win via knockout against Victoria Leonardo, because she is an experienced kickboxer and beat basically the last flyweight champion from about a fucking couple years ago. So, and that was her first professional fight too. So I just thought she had fantastic technique and power on the feet, and makes all the sense in the world. Mir had a motorcycle accident, exactly. So that does explain the addiction. Yes, that's the reason she was such a big fave, I think. Yeah, so that's the reason why I picked her too. John Fury has recently said in an interview that his son Tyson will be stripped of the Fury name if he loses to the same Dosser twice. Well, didn't they say didn't they give the same treatment to what was his name? There was another Fury and he beat Tommy Fury. Then they say they were going to revoke the Fury name if Tommy Fury lost to Jake Paul, and then luckily enough for him, he won by split. That family seems to fucking kick their own family members to the fucking curb because they got a fucking toxic, gotta win mentality along the same mindset as the Jackson fucking Five. So, and that dude's fucking punching people in the streets and during parties like fucking BJ Penn. He deserves to have his Fury name revoked for being such a nonce, for being such an absolute fucking tool. Fuck that. Fuck his father, dude. His father is always bringing the energy. It's the same with all these freaking kid boxers' fathers. They all act ridiculous, more fucking immature than their own children, and try to do all these little gimmicks and I'm fucking Don King, look at me. And then they do some dumb drunken bullshit in the meantime and act like fucking fools and bring shame to their own family's names. So, in my opinion, fuck the fathers of these boxing families. They can have their last names removed. I'd box Tommy. He's soft. Well, obviously not soft enough that he loses to Jake Paul. So I'd pull an Usman and put some fucking respect on his name. But Drickus looked good in there, and the better man just won. Plain and simple. Maybe Izzy was injured. Maybe he wasn't. I think he was. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day, since it was still a very even fight, regardless of weaknesses from either man going in. Also, Adesanya and Dana White fully coped and crafted their "I didn't look like myself" trust. He didn't look like himself. Adesanya didn't look like himself. I think he was just low energy. I think the flight to Australia, because he just goes out wherever he wants because he has no faith to any given country, I think that made Izzy tired. I think Sean made him emotional. They crafted their little narrative delusions after Izzy's loss to Sean Strickland at UFC 293. So maybe this is just the same deal. Who knows? And honestly, who cares? Rocky Marciano. That guy. I love that guy. Retired at just the right time. Had a bunch of fucking slugfests. He's not Rocky Balboa. He's even better, man. And he's always great in interviews, very humble, and puts on absolute wars that are still on fucking tape. I love Rocky Marciano, and he got out of the sport at the right time for sure. They both soft and don't like to be hit. They spend most of the night avoiding each other. Spent most of the night avoiding each. Yeah, well, in that fight, well, because Jake was scared because he actually had to fight a professional and he fucking wimped out. But against someone who's an MMA guy who's a full foot shorter than him, he's very confident. I almost thought that Sean said he sent me his D picks, but he sent me his D Dana White's Contender Series picks. Wonderful, Sean. Wonderful. We can go back and forth on that. Loma's dad has never bothered me to the same level as Haney or Teofimo Lopez's dads. Interesting. Well, Lomachenko seems like a very humble guy, very graceful in defeat and in victory. So I again, like father, like son, it's the old motto, but I think it's a good one. If you've got someone who's been humble and very respectful and appreciative towards the world they grew up in and the sport they're in, they probably had parents that showed the same respect for that sport. I mean, it's not always the case. There are some instances of children going on to be more respectful and more kind than their parents were, but I'd go with the golden rule that a lot of these people who are educated and good towards their surroundings were taught that way. I only send Kyle my D picks for editing purposes. I see. So you want to make some sort of fucking shit post on OnlyFans or something? Is that your point here? And are you talking about Kyle from the City Life Project? What the fuck is Kyle making on that channel, dude? He's a fucking ghost. He's either showing himself and his girlfriend in Italy, swapping spit, or he's showing Denial's D, apparently. Very, very interesting. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. He seems like a good guy to me. Why would he want your dick? Do you think that you beat Tommy Fury or Jake Paul, Denial? Yeah, I was just speaking that the Loma duo seems to be the exception to the dad-son annoying coaching logic. I think this goes back a very long ways, Denial. I think ever since the 70s and the 80s, managers can no longer just be managers anymore. They have to be fucking showmen and guys who fucking promote the fight 24/7 and act like clown shows and goofs and show up on the late night talk shows. And they're basically serving the role of ringmaster instead of the role of actually managing someone and coaching them during a fight. One of the few that I respected, who was a coach and a manager who was also in some very weird clothing. I'll be honest with you. Was the manager for Prince Nassim Hamed. At least he gave him some good fucking boxing advice and kept that young man on the straight and narrow. But then, as soon as they kicked him out, Prince Nassim went to shit. Long running joke, and yes, I am. He does the photo tutorials, and I want an OnlyFans edition inspired by Jessica Andrade. Jesus Christ, dude, that's in my brain now. It's gonna be in my fucking nightmare tonight. Thank you very much, Denial. You are giving me a very educational experience at the moment. What a disturbing man Kyle is. I'd fight him. Not gonna say I win for sure, but nothing they do scares me. And some boxers scare the shit out of me because they so fast and crisp with size. They are both fairly sloppy. Interesting. But you'd give them a fight to remember, that's for sure. Well, I don't know if you use steroids or not, Denial. You probably don't, but both those guys probably use steroids. They probably fucking flatten you because they're cheats. But anyway, we move on to my next big piece of MMA news. Listen in, folks. Listen in. Aljamain Sterling and Movsar Evloev have been going to war on social media as of late, with the Funkmaster now taking it a step further in accusing Evloev of being a PED cheat his whole career. Evloev initially responded hallway style by saying, "Nothing you say will matter when I beat you. We'll see on Saturday night, baby. We'll see on Saturday night." Aljamain then said Evloev wasn't denying anything with that tweet, to which Evloev called him a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. What a scumbag. And an Oscar winner. Thank you. You like me. You really like me. For his crying after Peter Yan's illegal knee winning him a bantamweight title, which is true. He definitely over-exaggerated when he got hit with that knee. Huh? Where am I? Oh, this isn't right. I shouldn't be winning this. I'm going to cry. Aljo doubled down on Evloev's lack of denial. I don't have a lack of denial. I've got him in my online chat. And then Evloev posted a picture of apparently a drug testing agent visiting him on short notice due to Aljo's accusations, saying he was clean and Aljo had no more excuses for his impending loss. Saturday night, baby. It was a slip. It was a slip. Things are heating up for their fight at UFC 307, but my honest opinion is that regardless of any potential substances being used by Evloev, it won't matter because guys who are taller and shorter than Evloev have kicked his ass before, whether it be Diego Lopez on short notice or Arnold Allen before his knockout was stolen from him by the impeccable moron Mark Goddard. It's not over! It's not over! Aljo can get Evloev in some nasty positions with the grappling, no diddy. And both guys are even on the feet as far as I'm concerned. So this should be a wrestling match, and we'll see who comes out the victor in that. I'm leaning Aljo, though. But that's just my opinion. He's definitely on PEDs, lol. Yeah, he's got the veins to prove it. Just because somebody comes in on short notice. And the fact that Evloev saw Aljo's tweet ahead of time and then was like, oh shit, get the drugs out of my system quick, put the cocaine in the toilet. Goodfellas style. He probably fucking avoided the drug testing agent by a fucking hair. Side note, Aljo, Mikey, Musumeci, Moreno, and DJ are all training together. Wow, that's a match made in fucking hell, isn't it? That's quite the grappling partnership. Moreno's solid when it comes to grappling. I definitely say he's the weakest out of the three of them, but he was able to beat Davison Figueiredo through a combination of grappling and striking. Yeah. Evloev is overrated. I agree. That's why I'd fucking fade him against Aljamain Sterling, who has been on the feet with multiple guys who are better strikers than him, as well as Evloev, and been able to beat them. Hand-dragging dork. Yeah, exactly. Fucking bullshit, dude. Took advantage of a rule that's going to be gone in October. What a fucking wuss. I will say that Aljamain Sterling did didn't he almost lose in Karate Combat, I think in a grappling match? He was going one-on-one with this guy, and at some points Aljamain Sterling was down on the ground, but then he was able to fucking reverse it towards the end of the fight. But he looked pretty bad in that Karate Combat fight, I'm not going to lie. So that's the only reason I might just fade Aljamain in that fight. Top 44 songs by Fats Walker. Is that the great-great-great-grandpa of Johnny Walker? Holy shit. No, Fats Waller. You're talking about the member of the fucking Brazilian Walker family. This is Waller. Ain't Misbehavin', Stormy Weather. Ooh, yeah, those are classic. There's a guy named Fats Domino. I know way more about his stuff than I do Fats Waller, but I'd definitely say Ain't Misbehavin' and the Jitterbug Waltz. And maybe the joint is jumping too. Whenever I have a joint, it's always jumping in my hand. Answer or you're racist. I answered it, so therefore I'm not racist. Again, you're the one supporting the far right politician. And the guy with the fucking spray tan on his face. Maurice might as well be blackface. Maurice Smith was a motherfucker. People forget, man. Hey, people forget Maurice Smith. He was an animal, man. He was an animal when he did that head kick. Oh! Oh! Maurice Smith, man, dude. He was the first kickboxer. People forget, man. People forget. The glory didn't exist during that time. And Maurice Smith, he changed the game, and so did Steel Cups. That people forget, man. And dude, I was fucking beat. We were having sparring all the time, and he kicks like a motherfucker, man. Aljo is from the hand dragging camp as well, though. In all fairness, that's true. They're all fucking knuckle draggers at the end of the day. They have the IQs of a fucking a can of tuna fish. Yeah, it was closer than I expected. Was up in weight though. That is true. So maybe he's just getting himself prepared for that. I really doubt that Evloev has the grappling advantage over him when Diego Lopez can be the better grappler. Good answer. Good answer. Fat Lever, the Denver Nuggets legend. Interesting. And we got more fats on the way. Oh, wow, there he is. These are real people. You guys are educating me in real time. You might as well be the fucking news hosts. Lafayette Fat Lever is an American former professional basketball player in the NBA, director of player development for the Sacramento Kings. All right, now I really like him. He's supporting my fucking local team, dude. Check Discord. Why did Driscus take all the good genes? It's Drickus, by the way. He's not a fucking Triscuit cracker. Interesting. Also, both of them shirtless, adding to the rumors, kissing each other after Drickus's victories. That guy, yeah, that's actually crazy, dude. He only took the face. Everything else, he looks better, man. People forget, man. He definitely got a lot of his mother's genes too. What the F are you thinking naming your kid Fat, though? I know. You better get him in a fucking gym as soon as he's fucking born, dude. You got to make that man the most ripped guy in the fucking universe. I've actually seen that, like, looking at fucking Fats Waller and Fats Domino, both of them are fat. So you basically doomed your kid to lifelong obesity, calling him that name. And he's going to get bullied, too. But hey, at least they both became successful musicians because Fats is fucking hip. I was at the base in Lamar, California. Kendrick Lamar, that is. Yee! My kids will all be named Fats. That is absolutely sadistic, and your kids are probably going to murder you. No chill, where'd you get this picture, though? And daughters will be super fats. Well, at least they're super. Super duper. Fat would at least be cooler. Yes, that'd be fucking fat, man. Like fucking Big L. What the hell was his name? Was that his name, Big L? No, it had Big L. No, there was not him. There was another guy called fucking Big something. Fat rappers. I'm looking that up and I'm going to hell. Fat Joe. Favorite overweight rappers. Oh god, I'm going to hell for this one. Oh, Big Pun. Big Pun. That's it. Big Pun. Yeah, I like me some Big Pun. Gotta teach them the hard way. Jesus Christ, man. Again, as I said, there's going to be familicide in that clan. Chubby Checker. I don't think Checker was chubby. Chubby Checker. Yeah, that guy was in fucking shape. He definitely had like a chubby face. But in terms of his actual physique, that dude was fucking in shape. He invented the twist. Like, in order to do the twist, you got to actually have some fucking moves and some athleticism. So he actually had a pretty wiry frame just to do the twist. Big Pun. Yes, exactly. That's who I was thinking of. Gonna bike now, so entertain me to gain watch hours. Thank you. Thank you. I will try. Prime John Jones or Prime Rusty Lamones? Here we go again. God damn it, you guys. You fucking pissing me off. Rusty Lamones, 1 and 3. Defeated Ronnie Birchfield in 2018. Got an armbar, man. Yeah, you could tap Jones. Like Rusty Lamones. He's the greatest fighter that ever lived. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he got those losses in other promotions. Those are badass promotions. He was always a fucking traveler, dude. This man was a fucking hermit crab. He'd never stay in one promotion. He's a boogeyman. But also, I think that if Rusty Lamones just called John Jones gay once in the center of the cage, he'd probably fucking crumble. So, yeah, definitely Rusty Lamones. All he has to do is do some fucking homophobia and it'll work. We then move on to our actually not homophobia, just Jones phobia. Who wants to even fucking stand around that fucking loser? Our next story for the evening. Arman Sarukian told a reporter recently that the UFC are trying to book the title fight between him and Islam Makhachev for December. But if Islam's hand injury doesn't heal up, then an interim title fight would be scheduled for Islam instead. The question is, who the fuck does Islam fight for an interim title? Who the fuck does Arman fight for an interim title if Islam is in fact unable to compete in December? The UFC lightweight division's completely cluttered with guys coming off losses. And Dan Hooker's the only one in the top 5 coming off a win. There's a fucking stat that no chill can salivate over. But putting him in an interim title fight would be a little insane, to be honest. Michael Chandler wouldn't deserve the shot, but he's the only one not injured from a massive loss like Gaethje or considering retirement like Poirier. Who knows if he's going to get it? Probably not. He's going to be waiting for the Conor fight until the day he fucking croaks. Maybe Armin, and he's too busy getting the new kid on the way. Maybe Armin and Charles could have a title rematch with 5 rounds instead of 3, given they went to a split decision in their last fight. And with 10 more minutes, who knows how that fight goes? I could actually see that fight happening, and I'd actually be excited for that. We got Dylan shaking Big Red in the chat. Do Austin Powers calling out Conor McGregor for a fight in Glasgow, Ireland? Okay. Hey, baby. You want to recreate the fucking troubles? Groovy, Conor, yeah. We both like D. Devlin. We want to shag a rotten, baby. Just rotten as my fucking teeth, man. Hey, Conor McGregor, I know you slick. I know you hang around the motorcycle rallies. I was there to take on Dr. Evil, baby. But you're looking more evil than him with those fucking speed dials, baby. Oh, yeah, baby, yeah. And then you're looking like a mini-me of Dr. Evil right there, Conor. Tiny little featherweight. I'm fucking fat bastard. I'll eat your baby, Conor McGregor.
I'll eat your children. I'll eat your children. With my power, with my presence.
So meet me in fucking Northern Ireland. I like to get down, baby, yeah. Tit guns activate. And all Austin Powers would have to do is get that fucking assassin lady as a bulletproof shield, and Conor could try to do something about it, but he wouldn't be able to fucking crack that lady's jaw. It'd be a fucking invisible shield right there. He'd fucking murder Conor McGregor. Guy is gonna swing a punch and fucking collapse. I'd stand next to him and ask him how I look, bruh. Groovy, baby. As he's like R. Kelly trapped in the closet. Yes. And I'm trapped in the closet with D. Devlin and a midget.
Sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads, people.
Well, sir, I think that's a waste of our budget, to be honest. You want $1 million, but we can barely afford sharks for 5,000.
That's it. I'm Mr. Bigglesworth. How does he plead? You've made Mr. Bigglesworth upset, and for that you will die.
I'm very badly burned. Help! I have like 2nd degree or 3rd degree burns. I honestly don't know how I'm still alive.
Sharks with laser beams, get him!
Besides that high-pitched lisp part, that I couldn't figure out which character was being referenced. Strong outing. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I have a lisp. Don't you know that Mike Tyson's the only one with a lisp? And here in the sports entertainment, he's in fucking boxing, man. He's taking on Logan Paul. I'm a man of God. And God's telling me to eat his children.
Anyway, we move on to oh, wait a minute. We got 1 more minute. Let's fucking ramble. Yes, that was funny with Will Ferrell. Thank you very much, Leprechaun. I'm glad somebody knew what I was doing. But yeah, guys, what do you think? Oh, wait a minute. I got more. Oh yeah, we got more in the news. I fucking stopped talking. I could see the Charles and Armin fight happening again in a rematch. The only other possibility is the winner of Moicano and Benoit Saint Denis, but only if Moicano beats Saint Denis. Then there's no denying him. He cannot afford to not have a title fight. Regardless of the matchup, the idea of an interim title fight at this stage in the UFC lightweight division is a strange one. That's why I'm fucking covering it. Strange. And when you're strange, and I'm not really looking forward to it. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to see an interim title fight, but damn you, Islam, and your Arnold Allen hands. Don't want that schizophrenic pussy, Armin, getting anything prestigious in that division. I'll be honest with you guys.
Mike Tyson, the toughest guy on the list. I've never been tough ever since I smoked marijuana. And I wouldn't hurt a fucking fly. I'm a pacifist at heart. I always wanted to be an entertainer on stage. When I was my biggest fan of Muhammad Ali, the guy had such good promos, and he got the gift of gab, baby. And I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and that's why I was joining the WWF. but I'm gonna make Logan Paul. I'm gonna make Jake Paul out for the fucking comedian that he is, the fucking joke that he is when I knock him to the campus. Now that'll be funny. I don't know how to tell a joke unless it's a Broadway production.
But anyway, yeah, Armin versus Oliveira. Book it. That is my opinion. And all the other ones, maybe the Moicano fight. I'd be somewhat interested in that, but other than that, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then we finally move on to my last bit of MMA news for the evening. Although I do have a little bit of bonus material, and I can go over that as well. His pigeon show was cool, and his cartoon is funny. Did Mike Tyson actually make a show about pigeons? Let me look that up.
I love my little fair weather friends. My fair weather friends.
Pigeons. Mike Tyson with his pigeons in 1985. TV show. Oh, Taking on Tyson. Oh, reality show. Famously Tough.
See, I am tough because Sean Moody watched my reality TV show and he sees that they call me tough in the TV show.
Cradling a pigeon in the same hand that helped him become an all-time boxing champ is a strange image indeed, but it's one Tyson chair.
It's one Tyson chair with it. The first thing I ever loved in my life was a pigeon.
He says,
pigeons are a part of my life.
In Taking on Tyson, the Brooklyn native goes back to his roots and reconnects with his fair-weathered, feathered friends by experiencing the bizarre subculture of pigeon racing.
Man, the subculture. That's what we were doing in the 80s and the 90s. We were with the resistance to the Reaganite era, man. We had to fucking revolt. We had to fight back against the powers that be. Public Enemy told me that.
Yes, pigeon racing. Like cockfighting. I think that a lot of people in this chat know a thing or two about cockfighting. They've had a lot of experience. Like many aspects of Tyson's complex life, this one is better seen to be believed. 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. I'll take it, dude. That man was nuts as a kid, dude. And his fights were fast for most of his career. Yeah, absolutely, dude. He was my dad's favorite freaking boxer. He and his grandpa, they didn't watch much together, but the one thing they would always watch was a Mike Tyson fight in the 1980s. They bought every single pay-per-view on HBO. And yeah, when Tyson was in his prime, that's when my dad and my grandpa would sit back, relax, and watch some boxing. Good old days. And I actually saw a documentary about Naoya Inoue from Top Rank Boxing, so obviously that can't be biased whatsoever. And they said that Naoya Inoue is the modern-day Mike Tyson, and I sort of agree, sort of don't, in that he can't talk, just like Mike Tyson can't talk, and he has unbelievable power in his fists, but I'd say that he's definitely way more technical than Mike Tyson is. Mike Tyson needed the clinch, and he needed like dirty boxing to get in with the big shovel uppercuts and big hooks, but Naoya Inoue could basically finish a fight however he wants. But yeah, I like the Mike Tyson comparisons. Doing psychedelics and DMT, brother. Yes, sir. Based as fuck. Did they argue over Ali or Tyson? Oh, God. I was caught in the middle of my joke. Crap. Did they argue over Ali or Tyson is like the best? My dad and my grandpa actually didn't like Muhammad Ali a lot because Muhammad Ali, he talked trash, but dude, it wasn't just, fight like a butterfly, sting like a bee, fly like a butterfly, it was more like, oh, I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking shoot you with a gun. You're too scared to fight me. I'm so pretty. And I'll fucking make you unrecognizable before the fight even starts. I'm way better. And this guy, Sonny Liston, doesn't deserve to fucking live. And so Liston, there's a reason why Sonny Liston shot a fucking blank in the air when Muhammad Ali was around. The guys who he fought fucking despised him. And in return, actually, a lot of people in the 1960s disliked Muhammad Ali because he talked a lot of trash, whereas they fucking supported Sonny Liston because he was more stoic. Although, honestly, it's sort of ironic, given that Sonny Liston was actually involved more in organized crime, and meanwhile, Muhammad Ali wasn't involved with it at all, but he was just a fucking nonce and a sort of asshole. So that's why everybody favored Sonny Liston. But both of them had their negative qualities, in my opinion. But my dad was telling me what he was saying to fucking Joe Frazier, what he was saying to George Foreman. Basically, my parents were fucking pissed off that Ali was just talking so much shit to the point where he was almost trying to ruin fights like Conor McGregor. Black Panther Party. There's nothing wrong with being a part of the Black Panthers. Black Panthers are part of my fucking local subculture, and they were able to, spread the word regarding police brutality and able to get some reform as well when they were in their fucking prime and unite their communities. And I know things got hairy towards the end, especially with the arrest of their leader, but I think the message itself was definitely more important than what they were able to accomplish as a unit, because ended up inspiring a lot of different cultural artists and politicians who ended up doing a lot of difference and fucking. They also gave birth to fucking Tupac, so I gotta fucking thank the Black Panthers there, and Spike Lee liked him too. George Foreman was the man. Boxing and his invention of the George Foreman grill, absolutely, dude, made every cookout easier for working families. One of the very few made for TV. What's the word for those? Infomercials. One of the few infomercials that was actually worth your money. George Foreman had a decent grill and small, compact. You could bring it anywhere and work just as well as your regular grill. So one of the very few like cheap products you see on fucking old people's channels that I was actually worth a damn. So got to give Foreman his credit there, and just had God-given power and he knew how to use it. And I think he actually just kept on improving as time went on. The reason why I ultimately respect George Foreman is because he was able to win the belt at 50 years old, like late 40s. He was able to win the belt off of what was his name again? Michael Moore, I think. George Foreman versus Michael Moore. Yeah. And not the fucking not the director. Yeah, I beat the brakes off of him in 1994. That's fucking incredible, dude. Guy was a living miracle. So I'm always going to respect George Foreman. He was a hell of a guy. He's still alive, isn't he? I think he's still alive. Anyway. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get to my last bit of... Oh, hold on. Bernard Hopkins was 46 when he won the heavyweight title. Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude. Well, I mean, it just goes to show, right, that even when you're halfway through your life, like, as long as you have
power and presence
and you have
prowess
and just good conventional boxing and classic standard techniques, you could beat any fucking flashy young 20-year-old who doesn't know the traditional conventions of boxing. So as long as you know more than your opponent, boxing can often be a fucking chess match. And as long as you know how the pieces work and you've got better strategies than the other guy, you can whoop their ass. So, I mean, you learn that over and over again. And there are people in their 40s who have, not bad for an old man, guys in their 40s who have won world championships in MMA. So if you know the basics, you know the basics. There are a lot of young guys who don't know the basics, and that's a fact, Jack. But anyway, let's move on to my last story. In a very strange role reversal from the usual super fights, both Alex Pereira, and Yuri Prochaska are vying for a move down to their light heavyweight weight classes to face Dricus du Plessis for the UFC middleweight championship. Very strange desires from the two of them, given that Dricus and Sean Strickland are pretty much booked for a title rematch in the coming months. And Alex is set to fight Khalil Roundtree on UFC 307. But I guess Alex and Yuri both smelled blood in the water after Dricus du Plessis had a close battle on the feet with Izzy and was getting tired and beat down in the third and fourth rounds of their fight. Maybe they're underrating him again. Anyway, also Dricus wants to move up, if anything, to fight Alex, which is just no. Have maybe 4 or 5 title defenses before you move up. Same as every other pathetic champion these days who wants to get a super fight after just winning their belts. Pussies, all of them. But still, a super fight and people who just want to fucking finagle their way into a bunch of money and just leave the sport. So are they real fighters or are they boxers? But still, a super fight with Dricus seems to be on both guys' MOs. And I think the most realistic of the possibilities is definitely Yuri getting a title shot against Dricus. But he needs to get a few wins at middleweight before he can do that. And with Yuri's chin getting eroded as of late by Alex twice, I don't think that's possible, to be honest. But it's the best path to another UFC title shot for Yuri in my opinion. So good luck to him. He needs to climb his way up the ladder at middleweight. Not too much because he's a former champion, but a few fights would definitely do. And also, like, if you're looking at fucking Davison Figueiredo's career, you'd know that he's been having a very long way to the top as well. It's better than seeing the Samurai retire outright, which would be sad for all of us, I assume. So, in my opinion, we all have to get in fucking Yuri's corner regarding his move to middleweight, because I honestly think that's the best route for him, because he's going to go nowhere at light heavyweight. He's going to be just fighting contenders until one of them chins him. And as much as I'd like to see Jamal Hill versus Yuri, I think Yuri gains pretty much nothing from that. But if he wants to fight Jamal, he should, and then he should go down to middleweight, where he knows that he's secured his legacy at light heavyweight, and then go for middleweight gold. We love ourselves some samurai, so it would be a very sad decline for Yuri, in my opinion. What do you guys think Yuri's fate would be if he went down to middleweight? Would he get chinned rather easily, sort of like Pereira was, or do you think he'd find a natural way down? Usually doesn't work out for a lot of former champions who go down a weight class to win. I mean, just look at Cody Garbrandt and how just absolutely anorexic he looked against Kai Kara France and these other guys at flyweight, and then just kept getting chinned. It's tough, dude, because Yuri can have a good chin in moments, but then other times just get cracked by fucking Glover Teixeira, you know? He'd be top 10. Yeah, that would be nice. He'd be top 10 right away, actually. But, you know, you could end up like Rose Namajunas and just be in fucking limbo for the rest of his career. It's hard to tell. By the way, do you guys think that Davison Figueiredo might actually get a bantamweight title shot in the future? It seems way more likely than any other fighter who's going up a weight class. Maybe get a shot at 185. Yeah, he could, but I don't know. I just think he needs to earn it, because he's lost. Well, he did win against Rakic, so I guess you could give him a little bit of a boost there. But and again, I know that there isn't a lot of prestige in the sport when it comes to rankings, because Khalil Roundtree, of all fucking people, is getting a title shot against Alex Pereira because they want their cash cow to keep the belt for a little bit longer. And also Magomed Ankalaev's a bitch and just doesn't want to fight in America because all of them are getting in fucking trouble overseas. But yeah, it's just they might actually give Yuri a title shot at this point, like fucking Israel Adesanya. Rankings don't matter. You can just get title shots if you're famous and you've got good name value, because the UFC's fucking scrambling for pay-per-view points and pay-per-view buys, because they have been looking shit as of late and putting on bad shows as well on pay-per-view at the very least. And they need name value in order to fucking keep people watching the UFC after Conor's in fucking limbo forever. Also, isn't it weird, guys, that Dana White just doesn't want McGregor to fight this year? Even when everything's together and both men are signing the contract. Oh, no, it doesn't work. We got to have John Jones in November. We got to have John Jones in December. Conor can't be there. No. Doesn't he realize that this is fucking once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and if there's a few more cancellations, Conor's going to fucking leave? It's already looking like it, guys. Conor's fucking already tweeting free Conor, hashtag free Conor on Twitter. So he doesn't even like fucking being there at the UFC anymore. They might actually lose Conor McGregor if they keep fucking around with that Chandler fight. And Chandler is obviously going to be a good lapdog no matter what happens. But yeah, UFC's in a fucking dismal state, and it's translating to the rankings making no sense. I would too. And also they're doing fucking Kai Asakura versus Alexandre Pantoja at some point for some fucking reason. I think that Alexandre Pantoja is going to fucking whoop Kai Asakura's ass and fucking obliterate him, and then it'll be the biggest waste of investment the UFC has ever had in a fighter. But if Kai Asakura wins, then their gamble pays off, but he's not going to win. Figueroa at 35 will get a shot, probably one or two good performances. Yeah, I do hope that's what happens, because Figgy's been on a fucking roll as of late. He also beat the shit out of Marlon Vera, which is honestly a dub, man, because Marlon Cheeto Vera is just such an annoying piece of shit, dude, and such a fucking coper. So it's good that somebody tried to put his lights out and knocked him down. So I just want him to get a fucking Peter Yan fight. I want him to have some sort of fight that's fun, and then once he wins that, he can get a title shot, in my opinion. Because are we forgetting that this dude was around during the pandemic and was one of the few shining lights in that division who was actually making it more interesting? Everybody just remembers their fucking trilogy, but nobody remembers that Figgy was fucking murdering people at flyweight. Figgy at 135 is smarter than 125. Oh, are you saying that in terms of like fight IQ and how he's actually fighting, he's better? He's already at 135 and he's been doing very well. So hopefully he gets a title shot. He felt Cody's hands and said, "Time to grapple." Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It's weird. Like, it's just strange. Like, I give credit to Figueiredo for implementing the grappling against Cody Garbrandt, but I just don't give the same kudos to Aljamain Sterling when he does the same thing, because Aljamain Sterling just can't finish people even if he wanted to, because his grappling is so fucking mid, especially against guys that are bigger than him, that he's never going to get a fucking submission in his whole life when he's trying to wrestle these bigger guys. Whereas Figueiredo can actually get a finish against guys with the grappling. He actually is aggressive in general. Love or hate Cody that boxing is the danger zone. I agree. He was actually tagging Figueiredo a few times and looking pretty good in there. But unfortunately, as much as Cody was improving his fight IQ at bantamweight, his grappling was looking pretty fucking mid against Figueiredo, because he allowed his neck to get just fucking taken like that. Yes, exactly that. Love to hate, yeah. It's a shame for old Cody Garbrandt. Also, it's sort of strange that he's been out of action since UFC 300, isn't it? It's been 5 pay-per-views and Cody hasn't been booked. Let me actually look at Tapology to see if Cody Garbrandt has been booked at all. He's not fucking cut, is he? I'm pretty sure he's not. He just came off a fucking win. Okay, he had a canceled bout with Miles Johns. Jesus Christ, dude. They're going to throw him to the wolves and he's going to get fucking chinned. I got to bounce and get this session in. Much love, Hank. Thank you very much, Denial. It's great to see you here, my friend. And good luck in the session. And like Figueiredo, play it smart and play to win, like the fucking Raiders told you. Because you're going to fucking destroy your opponent in MMA. I'm fucking calling it. So good luck to you. And I hope some of the City Life community is there to watch your victory. Anyway. Let's move on to my bonus bit of MMA news before I wrap things up and we exit the war zone for now. Ronda Rousey is apparently not neurologically sound enough to compete in the UFC. She can't take a punch without getting wobbled, she said in an interview. So any further rumors that Ronda Rousey is going to return to the UFC have basically been squashed with that one interview alone. She followed up on that statement, basically including that if she got brutally knocked out in the UFC again after making yet another boring, uneventful return, and then she ended up in a fucking wheelchair having fucking CTE when she's 50 or 60 years old, that would send a bad message for women wanting to get into the sport. And so at least that's the excuse that Ronda's making. And so she's saying that as long as she looks healthy and in shape and actually enjoys a life after MMA, then girls can actually feel confidence in getting into MMA and becoming stars there and competing, instead of being afraid that they'll have a horrible mental disorder or physical condition, which is entirely possible. And for both genders, just ask fucking Maria Agapova how great it is to be in the UFC and to have guys who book your fights in the UFC. But yeah, man, it's probably smart of Ronda Rousey. She made her millions in the UFC and in the WWE. So she's basically scrounged both companies for all their fucking worth. Why would she need to return in any capacity? But I agree with her estimation in that sense. But I will say, she treated her fucking employees like shit, and every camera person and every fucking crew member who's been around her for an interview or any sort of social media promotion has said that she's a fucking bitch and that she's absolutely a moron and a jerk and hard to work with. So she made a lucid statement this time, but any other time that you see Ronda Rousey in the news, it's nothing great. But I think that's going to wrap up Hank's Think Tank. Do you have any more questions or any more takes for Hank the Tank to answer before I sign off, guys? And if you don't, much peace and love. Thank you for attending. Let's hear one more fucking opinion. Let's hear one more response from Hankus Tankus before I get out of here. Nobody here? You going to stay? You going to leave?
Get out of here. Get out of here, you cucarachas. I don't need you no more. Okay? I can do this by myself. I can talk to a fucking wall.
Thank you for coming to say rest in peace to Sid Vicious. I should say that to end the stream. Rest in peace to, what was his last name? Sid Eady, I think it was. Yeah, Sid Udy, also known as Sid Vicious or Psycho Sid. And no, that is not the member of the Sex Pistols, the bassist. That is the wrestler for WCW and the WWF from early 1990s to 1998, 1999. Legend in the wrestling business. Did you follow up on that Hall of Fame induction, Sean? Yeah, we got
Sean Udy, Sid Udy, and Sean Moody.
The Terror Twins. Sid Udy and Sean Moody. Let me see if Psycho Sid got a Hall of Fame induction. Why isn't Psycho Sid in the Hall of Fame? Oh, man. He's not in the... Oh, wait. WWE Hall of Famer Psycho Sid dies at 63. Let me actually take a look. Imagine having a man build Hall of Fame. He is one of the wrestlers who have surprisingly never been inducted. Why the fuck did you say Hall of Famer then, Los Angeles Times? Last month, Sid said a Hall of Fame induction was more likely for him now that Vince McMahon is gone from the company. Okay, so he hasn't been in the Hall of Fame, so the Los Angeles Times lied about him being a Hall of Famer. What a bunch of fucking fake news, fake news. The swamp is real, folks. But what a bunch of fucking weasels and manipulators and paparazzi. So, no, he is not in the Hall of Fame. He's still not in the Hall of Fame. So, unfortunately, like Mr. Perfect and like a lot of guys, he is going to be inducted post-mortem. Rick Rude, too. Jesus Christ, man, that's fucking disgusting. False advertisement, I agree. That's rotten, man. You should have given it to Psycho Sid. He's a WWF champion, and he's very memorable. He's like a fucking R-Truth in the late 90s. He brought a lot of joy and a lot of smiles and a lot of laughs before he left wrestling. So that's fucked up. I hope he gets the Hall of Fame induction eventually, but they fucking missed the boat on that. Hey, Anakin Skywalker, good to see you, man. Do you have any MMA news for me? I'm about to actually sign off, but if you got something that you want Hank the Tank to talk about regarding the wacky world of MMA, let me know, man. But yeah, poor Psycho Sid, dude. He was a legend of his time. He had a great theme song. Wasn't anything to write home about in terms of, you know, his general like in-ring work, but in terms of personality, in terms of the wild look in his eyes and innate like physical charisma and charm and relatability to the fans, Psycho Sid was a cut above. And he was a two-time WWF champion for a reason. He was sort of the prelude to Stone Cold Steve Austin and all the anti-heroes of the late 90s and early 2000s when he was a villain, but the fans still loved him. Very beloved amongst wrestling fans, and he will be sorely missed by me, at least, because I thought that Sid was very entertaining when he was in wrestling, and he deserves the Hall of Fame nod. All right. Macho Man, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. Dig it. You're going to be the cream. The cream on top of the head, the cream of the crop. Isn't that right, Steamboat? But it won't work. It won't work for you, yeah. Because I got my valet, the dear Miss Elizabeth, in my corner. And who you got? You got that nasty, sweaty, disgusting animal. And I'm going to get you too, Rhino. Ah! Yeah, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan and your hot dog, and yeah. But it won't work, will it? Because Macho Mania and the Ultimate Warrior's madness is going to take over the WWF. You're old news, Steamboat. Old news. Yeah. Him and Vader were tag team champs. Yes, sir. Mr. Perfect was underrated. I agree, Anakin Skywalker. And that's just perfect. I am the best at bowling. Da-na, da-na, ba, 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 ba. Now that's perfect. I'm Kurt Axel, and me and Scott Hall, tag team champs, will take on them all. We're too heavy, and we're not too humble, so we're going to kick your ass at the Wrestle Rock Rumble. I'm Larry Zbyszko. I won't be crude. Still, I get my hands on that Scott Ledoux. I'm a beat his ass, and I'm not going to mumble and laugh all the way to the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Ow! Say snap into a Slim Jim. Yeah! Or I could do the LA Knight. Yeah! Let me talk to you. Snap into a Slim Jim. Yeah! Ooh, yeah! Kurt Angle is the most underrated. Most underrated by Dave Meltzer. That's for sure. Absolutely. Did you know, Sniff, that Kurt Angle has never received a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer in his entire career? Even in TNA, even in WWF. Never got a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer, which proves that Meltzer's a fucking joke and has no idea what good wrestling is if it fucking bit him in the ass. Because it's mind-blowing to you. Yeah! Step into a Slim Jim, it'll blow your mind. Yeah! Oh, yeah. Kurt Angle. With your milk drinking and your hot dogging and your broken neck having, yeah! Most underrated wrestler was Marty Jannetty. Of course it was Marty Jannetty, according to the Leprechaun, because he met the crazy man. Marty likes to party, and he's told Leprechaun all of his secrets, including where the bodies are hidden. Dave Meltzer has a vagina! Yeah, just ask CM Punk if Dave Meltzer has a vagina. He'll give you your answer. Didn't Dave Meltzer give a 5-star rating to a New Japan match? Yeah, I know. What a fucking loser. Plus Disco Inferno. Oh, yeah. Didn't he beat he beat Raven at some point for like United States title? I'm gonna look that up. Disco Inferno. He has a podcast too, so therefore he's a good wrestler. Every good athlete has a podcast, you guys. Yeah, 2-time television champion, 1-time tag team champion with Alex Wright. Interesting. One of the novel mid-card WCW wrestlers. Yeah, mid-card. That's a badge of honor right there. Jim Cornette gets junk mail from Nambla. Yeah, because he made that one fucking call in NWA Power where he said something about a fucking bucket of fried chicken going to fucking Africa. And then they absolutely destroyed him and kicked him out of NWA, and he's never had any participation in it again. And I remember Jim Cornette clarified that basically he told that joke to Big Bubba Rogers like in the 1980s, and that was an old joke, and they laughed about it, but he didn't mean anything by it. And then in the modern age, it got canceled and taken out of context. The Dancing Goofies. Jesus Christ. Yeah, WCW, terrible gimmicks, but great talent. That's how I'd discuss. Horrible gimmicks right aside from the NWO and Goldberg and DDP. Outside of those guys, there wasn't an idea they didn't run into the ground. They also Jim Cornette is a racist. No, he's not. And Leprechaun Sean Moody is obviously an NWA Power fan because he just went with the fucking narrative. Jim Cornette is not a racist. There are a bunch of fucking black, Asian, people of different skin colors and different ethnicity wrestlers that have said that they respect Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette has respected them right back. And he was a wrestling promoter for 30 years and worked with talents of all different races and creeds. So I find that absolutely bullshit. But in conclusion, guys, that about wraps up my time. Jim Cornette tennis racket handle smells like his booty hole. It does, because his mother would stick it up there every once in a while. But yeah, that's going to fucking end it for Hank's Think Tank. Thank you all for attending. And in conclusion, you have escaped the war zone. for now. With your hot dogging and your helmet wearing and your PTSD experiencing and your child killing and your bomb Agent Orange spraying. Yeah, you fucking Viet Cong. You trying to fucking kill all those Asian fellas over on the other seas. You guys are the fucking worst. There's a reason why Francis Ford Coppola made a movie about you. Yeah.